in Accra since then. Is there an explanation for this?
Well, obviously, I don't know the specifics of that person's situation. But again, if you go onto our website, there is information how to contact us. And I would urge that person to write an email to the consulate, and we will get back to them. Again, I don't know the specifics, but the best thing to do is to write to the consulate, especially for immigrant visas, which is a different process than non-immigrant visas, and they'll get a response telling them what their situation is.
But what would make such a thing happen? Do you have an idea?
I don't know, sir. I mean, there could be there are many. The immigrant visa process is long and sometimes can get complicated. So I really don't want to speculate on why any specific circumstances.
If the person should send in a mail or put in a mail right now, how much speed is attached to the response to the mail?
We generally try to respond within 3 to 5 business days. Again, I mean, I'm not saying we're perfect, and that if someone doesn't get a response within that time, they should write again.
Okay. Now let's get back to some of the types of visas, the category of visas. We're talking about a B1, we're talking about a B2, we talked about the student visas and all that. How different is the student application from the tourist B1, B2 process? It
is fairly different because obviously the reason you're going to the United States is different. For a student visa, the main thing is that you have to be admitted into a U.S. Educational institution. And as part of once you've been admitted, they're the ones that will give you the paperwork, including a form called the I-20, that will allow you to then apply for a student visa. And I'll mention that the requirements for a student visa are somewhat different than they are for a B1, B2 tourist visa. For a student visa, there are mainly two requirements that we're looking at. One is that you have to show that you are a bona fide student, meaning that you are able to handle the coursework that you're going to be studying in the United States. And the second is that you are able to afford paying for the tuition for the school that you're going to be going to.
Okay, but again, if you're not going to pay for the fees, let's say you have a scholarship of a sort. Can that person present it?
Yes.
As part of the documentation to, make a strong case for him or her, so the person gets the clearance.
Absolutely. In fact, the scholarship will be noted on the paperwork from the school. So it will be right there in front of the officer, and they'll see whether or not they have a scholarship. And if they have a full scholarship, then obviously they can pay for they pay for the school.
Ella, tell me this. I mean, how are you helping students who are supposed to be be in colleges this fall and are having challenges with documentation and the visa processing and all that? I mean, time is almost up for them. What is the U.S. Embassy doing to help such students?
Well, in the summer, we're aware that this is kind of crunch season for a lot of students. So we have increased the number of student visa applications, to the point that we are doing probably more student visa applications during this summer than any other category of visa. I will mention a couple of things that if a student is looking for a student visa interview, that might help them. First is that in certain circumstances, I mentioned emergency appointments. We do also grant emergency appointments for students, not in every case, and sometimes we are mostly looking at how urgent is it, but that is one opportunity. The second thing, and this is something that people should be aware of, is that it used to be the rule that you had to apply no more than 30 days before the day you were going to start school in the United States. That rule is no longer true. In fact, now you can apply up to a year in advance. So I would urge anyone who has gotten into a school, don't wait. Make your application for a student visa as far in advance as you can. The other thing I would say, that there is quite possible there are some people who may not be able to get the appointment in time. I would say to those applicants, talk to your school and see whether or not you'd be able to defer your entry into school, because we wouldn't want you to miss the opportunity. But at the same time, the realistic is that we may not be able to interview everyone who is looking for a student visa.
I hear you. Leo, you said you had a question?
Yes, I wanted to find out, for